What's up, everybody? Exercise today is going to be Camporini deadlift, the Campo deadlift. You could totally do this with no equipment, like literally no weight, no ball, no wedge, but these constraints are really gonna help you get into the position we want. Now, really quickly, let's talk over exactly why we're doing this. So when we're having problems with hip pinching or lack of internal rotation, oftentimes the backside of our hip can be concentric, meaning it's tight, and it's pulling your femur out like that. So in order to get it in, we want to kind of let go of some of that tension around your back pocket so that your hip has the freedom to rotate in. We're going to go ahead and do that on the left side today. That's where most people are going to need it, but wherever you have that pinch, I would do this. And then also you can totally do both sides. It'll be beneficial for both. First, very light med ball, 6 pounds. Again, this can be a dumbbell. What I would do is hold it with both hands so that you're not trying to turn too much and messing up the bottom. The hip, what's happening at the hip is most important. When you're wide, think like you've been telling people you're big bone for a while, you played offensive line, something like that, you'll be able to tell. You might want to set up a little bit wider than I am, maybe a little bit more forward, just so that the space between your feet isn't so close. Find out where you're comfortable. The wedge, the book, the towel is going to be under your toes just so it forces you to get weight onto your left heel, so it pushes you back, because that's exactly what this exercise is about. So I'm going to set up here. I like to have my heel across from kind of the middle of my other foot. Both feet are on the ground. This is here. We're going to go ahead and take a really relaxed inhale at the top. Untuck your chin. Long exhale. Let your shoulders relax. Feel your ribs come down and in. Then we're going to do one more inhale at the top. And then we're going to exhale and go down into it as my right knee pushes forward, my left hip pushes back, and I just do a nice hinge down into the bottom. Now, I'd like to see that my left knee is basically staying in line. For somebody who's really tight and has a pinch in the hip, you might be out a little bit like we talked about. That's perfectly fine, but you're not really driving your knee out and losing the ball of the foot. We want to keep the whole tripod on something the whole time. It should look like my right knee moves forward a little bit, and it should look like my left knee almost moved back so that it's pretty much over my heel. And this one is pretty much over the front of my ankle or maybe my laces. Now in the bottom, I'm just sitting down in the bottom. You don't need to tuck your chin. You don't want to have it all the way up here. Just kind of relax your neck. Let this happen. You're exhaling to the bottom, and then you're going to take a nice big breath in. And then you're going to exhale out of the bottom. So the reps are inhale at the top, exhale to the bottom. Inhale in the bottom. Exhale on the way up. Okay, so we want to get about 10 reps. We want to do about 2 to 3 sets. A lot of details on this one. When you go down to the bottom and you inhale, I want you to imagine that your left pocket is expanding. Are you getting air and breathing into your butthole? Not really, but your pelvic floor is there. The tissue around your hip there should relax and stretch. If you feel like that's not opening up, you're probably not doing it right, or you just need more reps into it. You need to relax a little bit more on your inhale. Now, the other thing that's really common with this, just like it is common with anybody that's having pinching in the hips, is just to avoid it completely. So I'll show you from the back view. So from the back view, what it's going to look like when you're avoiding it is like this. Notice how my hip shifts to the right versus my hip being over to here. You should see that it looks like my belt buckle's turning left versus it turning right, because that's what we want. We're trying to teach us how to turn into the hip. If you've been doing pelvic magic with us, this is the scissor slide mixed with the hip hinge. So my right knee goes forward, my left knee goes back. It's also really common to do this, which means that you're not getting enough of that left adductor, left groin to work and pull you into the position. And we want to really be able to feel this is where the stretch should be felt, all up in my left back pocket. I want to think about as I inhale, this expands, this stretches. As I come up, it's going to work, and I'm going to come all the way up like that. So again, as I go down into it, exhale. I'm not over here. A lot of people are going to almost need to think, I'll cue people, push yourself from here. So if I got pushed to the side, I would go all the way over there. Now I'm in it even more. And notice when I pushed myself to the side, I didn't just push my hip out to fake it. My hips actually translate to the left over there, and then I sink into it. So what I would suggest is your first set, go down there, take 5 to 10 breaths in the bottom, then come up. Then hit reps where you're just grooving the pattern going down. Video yourself from the back big time because you're gonna see it. You shouldn't get any pinching in the groin. If you do, try a wider stance or try to see if you can just not go down as far. Notice how I didn't try to touch the ground around my back. I could care less if it doesn't go past your knee, especially if you're having issues with the hip impingement. Try to think that you can just go to your shin or your knee at first, and if you're really limited, just start here and just make sure that your butt is back so you're not like this. That's how we're gonna do the Campo deadlift. It's gonna be a really great way to open up hip IR. If you want, go ahead and test before and after what your hip IR looks like on the ground, and do a couple of cars after, and you should feel a nice little difference as that back pocket opens up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.